So quite often I get the question, how can I engrave glass using my laser? So I thought, why not make a new video about this in which I explain this step by step. In this video I will use my Longer Nano Pro. It's a 12 watt galvo style laser and I will use the rotary roller. I have selected 3 fun designs. This is the first one. Hopefully you can see it. These are some really nice Christmas ornaments engraved on a wine glass. So I will show you how to do this one. The second one is this one, also for Christmas. 3 little gnomes, Merry Christmas. Also really fun to engrave. And the last one is just a funny text, at least I think it's funny. It says, I'm not a control freak, you're just doing it wrong. Of course you can do any design you want. I will just explain how to do it. I will start with LightBurn, explain the settings. Also show you how to apply the paint, because diode laser cannot engrave glass. You will need a CO2 laser for that one. So I will apply tempera paint first using my airbrush set. So I will also show you that one. Then we will chuck it in the rotary roller and then set everything up, align it, and we can do the engraving. So if you want to know exactly how it's done, watch till the end. I hope you enjoy it. And let's start with the first step, the design in LightBurn. Over here I've got all the items needed for the engraving. I've got my notebook with LightBurn installed. I've got my Longer Nano Pro. It's a 12 watt galvo style laser. I've got the rotary roller attached. I purchased some long drink glasses on which we can engrave, and also some wine glasses. I've got tempera paint to cover the glass before engraving. This one is from Giotto, but you can use any other brand as well. Tempera paint is easy to apply and also easy to remove using regular water. And why do I need to put this on? It's because I'm using a diode laser. And a diode laser is not able to engrave on glass or a transparent material. For that you would need a CO2 laser. And this one is a diode laser. So I will make sure I will cover the glass using black paint. Once it's fully covered, you can engrave in the paint and at the same time engrave in the glass. I will thin the paint using some demi water. And this is needed because I will be applying the paint using my airbrush set. Of course you can also use a brush for this, but I noticed it's easier to cover it using an airbrush set. You get nice and even coats. I need to do several layers to get a good coverage, and each layer will dry much faster if you apply it using an airbrush gun. So that's why I'm using this one. So the next step I think is unpacking the glasses. Make sure everything is prepared, fully painted. Then I can open LightBurn, look at the design, set up everything in the chuck, make sure it's level, and also the focus is set correctly. And then we can do the engraving. Of course I will show you all the steps, as always. So first thing, let's unpack the glasses and do the painting, make sure they are prepared correctly. So the first step is mixing the paint. First I will put in a little bit of demi water, some paint, and then I will make sure everything is mixed correctly. I will check the viscosity. It needs to be running a little bit. If I put it here, it needs to run down a little bit. Should not be too thick, also not be too thin. Then it's okay. So let me show you how I do it. I will just put in a little bit of demi water, like this. Then put some tempera paint in. Let me open it. Yes. Put in some paint. And then mix it using a brush. Also make sure that everything is mixed correctly. Not sure if you can see it. Yeah, you can see it. You don't want to have any thick parts in it before you put it in your container from your airbrush gun. Once it's mixed correctly, I will put it on the side. And if you see, hopefully you can see it, if it runs down, like now, then it's okay for me. I know it will go into the gun correctly. So let me put this aside. And then we can fill the container from the airbrush gun and start applying the paint. So I've got my gun. I've got a quick release, so it's just easy to remove it. That's always nice. Open my gun and put the paint in. Like this. Then I will clean it a little bit to make sure everything is nice and clean. Close the lid, don't forget to do that. And then I can connect it again. and I will be able to spray the black paint. Let me see if it comes out. As you can see, it runs pretty good, so that's good. Now we can do the painting on the glass. Let me show you one glass how I do it, and then I will do the rest off camera because it will take some time. First I will clean the glass, make sure there's no fingerprints. Then I can start with applying the paint. Only thin layers, so the first layer you will hardly see anything. I will dry it using this dryer. It will speed up the process, and then I can do second layer and so on until I get a good coverage. So as you can see, first layer you can hardly see anything, but that's fine. Don't put on too thick of a layer because you will only get drips and you don't want this. So just a thin layer. And that's why it's easy to use a paintbrush like this or a spray gun like this. Then dry it. It will go pretty fast because it's only a thin layer. Once it's dried, I need some coverage here as well. Then you can do the second coat. And you will, with each layer or each coat, you will see it getting darker and darker. And you will get better coverage. If you are sure which side you want to engrave on, of course you don't need to do everything. The complete glass, you can only do a part of it. But I'm not sure yet, so I will do everything. Make sure it's dry again. You can also dry it from within. Once you heat up the glass a little bit, it will dry even faster. And this is the way you build up the layers. Turn it off. And then continue with this next one. And with each layer you will see it's getting darker and darker. And that's what you want. You want it completely black. And then you can engrave on it. Let me hold it like this. I can turn it around easier. Also, when you get more layers in, it's easy to see when it's dry because it's a little bit shiny when it's wet. And once you dry it, you will get a complete matte finish. So then you know it's dried completely. You can also see it here. You see dark spot. When I put a dry on, you'll see it disappear. Also over here. So then you know it's dry and you can do the next one. Okay, hold it like this. Let's dry it again. Hopefully you can see it in the camera. If you put it like here, you can see the color will change from dark to gray. And then you can see it's drying. See, it's pretty quick. Like here. Also here. That's what you want. You don't want to put layer on layer when they are still wet. So also on the bottom over here you can see it. There's still some wet parts. So let's dry it. And you can see them disappear. And then you are ready for the next coat. So, next layer. Like this. Again, dry it until everything is nice and evenly coated. Again, if I heat it up, you will see it's getting lighter and it has a matte finish. That's what you want. Okay, ready for the next coat. That's what I mean. If you apply it with a brush, it will be yeah, much more difficult to dry it on time. Over here. Oh, don't touch it. Like this. And dry it again. Hopefully you can see it on the camera. If I put the dry over here and hold it in one spot, you can easily see it's changing color. And once you have everything covered, I think we're about there. There's a little spot over here, so I need to cover that. Then you can do the engraving. So this is where I touch my finger, you can see, so I need to do a little bit more. That's the nice part about this one. You can just spray on top of it and then dry it. Do multiple layers and all will be fine. See how quick it dries. So the first one is ready. As you can see, it's got a nice even coat, fully covered. This little bit of darker spot, it doesn't matter, it will still work. So this is how you want it to be inside. You can see it's still a little bit light, but that's okay for engraving. It doesn't need to be fully black, as long as it's completely covered and the laser can yeah, burn into the paint, it will work. So for this tutorial I've done 2 long drink glasses and 1 wine glass. I think once you know how it's done, you can do as many as you want. So next up I will be loading LightBurn, get the design ready, set up the laser, and then we can start the engraving. So what do we need to do in LightBurn? First, of course, you have to connect your laser. Well, you can see I am connected on COM12, the Nano Pro. The standard working area of the Nano Pro is 100 by 100 millimeters. We need to change this because we've got the rotary roller connected. So you go to Edit, Device Settings, and you need to change the height to 480 millimeters. Now you can see it's 480 millimeters in height and 100 millimeters in width. Next step, you need to go to the console. And the nice thing about the Longer Nano Pro is when you buy it, there's an USB stick included, which has all these macros already pre-made from Longer. Once you install this, you've got the macro one for normal engraving. You got 1 macro for the rotary extension, 1 macro for the slide extension, and you have something for Wi-Fi connect and reset. For the rotary roller you need to click on the macro and then right click with your mouse on this macro and you'll get this. In here, this value you need to change to the diameter of the glass or the part that you want to engrave on. So let's say my glass is 60 millimeters in width, you need to change this to 60. And then you're done. So that's the nice thing about this macro and the Longer Nano Pro. You don't need to fiddle around with the millimeters per rotation and things like this that you have with certain rotary rollers. This is already preset. Just switch to rotary roller extension, right click and change this one and you're done. So that's nice. So next up I will load the design, then we can load up the first glass, set the focus and everything, and then we can start the engraving. So as you can see, I've loaded the first design. I have rotated the design so it's correctly positioned for the glass. I have set the speed to 1000 millimeters a minute at 90%, 1 pass. The line interval is 0.06 millimeters, so that's the width of the laser. Also, if you double click here, you can set the overscanning. You need to turn it off because it's a fiber laser it doesn't need to run like a normal carriage. So I've switched this off. Air assist I can turn off because there's no air assist on this laser. Next up I will show you how to set the glass into the rotary chuck, and then we can start the engraving. So we are ready to put the glass into the chuck. I've changed the jaws of the chuck. There are several included. These ones are stepped. I don't need these. I'm using these ones so I can clamp it from the inside out. Of course you can also clamp it from the outside, but you will limit your size of the engraving because the chuck is in the way. You can also put some pins in here if you want to do round objects. There's an Allen key included that you can just change it out. This is a support. You can lower and raise it. There's some wheels here. If you want to put something on, it will spin freely, and also this one can spin. So let me take it out of the way a little bit. Put this one on the chuck, and then you can close it by twisting this one. And then you can put this on the bottom, the support. Let me do it like this for now. Make sure this is tight against the chuck, and then put your level on it to see if you need to lower or raise it, because it needs to be level. If it's not level, the laser will change, of course, in height. So that's something you don't want. So once this is set, you can tighten these thumb screws. And then you can clamp this so it's tight, and then it can spin freely. Maybe double check to see if everything is okay, and it is. So next what we need to do is set the focus correctly. This is very easy on the Nano Pro. All you need to do is go to the top of the machine. There are two buttons on the machine. If you press the left one, there will be two dots projected on the glass, two red dots, and they need to align exactly on top of each other. You can change it by changing the height of the laser. There are two buttons on the back. It's an automatic lift. So once you set it, let me do it right now. Turn it on. You can see the two dots. And let me see if I can focus it. Yeah, and I will adjust the height of the machine. And as you can see, now they are aligned on top of each other. And then the machine is in focus. So next let's do the framing in LightBurn to see if everything is correctly aligned. As you can see, it seems to be correctly aligned. And you can also see the size of the engraving. I think it's okay. So next step is starting the engraving. So the first engraving is ready. Took about an hour and a half. At first sight everything looks fine, but I will take it out. I will show you in the camera what it looks like before cleaning off the paint. Then I will clean it and I will show you the final result of the first glass. So let me show you the first result. As you can see, it's really nice and crisp. The only thing is, I did explain in the beginning that you need to measure the diameter of your glass and set it in LightBurn for the rotary settings. And what did I do? I started the camera, I started my laser, and I totally forgot to set the correct diameter. It was still at 70 millimeters, while this is 61. And as a result, you can see this should be round and it's like an oval. It's still okay, I still like it, and if you don't know, you don't know. But yeah, this is my mistake. I did change it now, so if I would do another one, it would be correct. But just beware that you set it correctly, otherwise it will be like this. So next up I will do the wine glass, and we'll take another design and start again for the next one. So here you've got the second design in LightBurn. As you can see, it's all these little Christmas ornaments. The red line is a tool line which will not be cut or engraved. And this side of the tool line represents the top edge of the glass. So I'm gonna engrave all these ornaments around the glass, and they will be hanging from the top down almost until the middle. I don't want to go lower than the middle of the glass because it's a wine glass which is curved. And if you go down, yeah, the laser has to engrave a little bit lower, so it will be out of focus. So I'm trying to focus between the top and almost the middle of the glass, which does have a little curve, but it's minimal. So that's why I'm keeping it this high. Let me see. It will take a little over 31 minutes. Here you can see all the ornaments. I think it will be fun. The settings are the same as the long drink glass. It's 1000 millimeters a minute at 90%. So I will set up the glass in the chuck, align everything, and then I will move the camera so you can see the engraving, and we will start the engraving. So let me do the framing. I'm aiming to engrave from here to about here. The reason I told you already is because this is a curved glass. If I set the focus on the highest point over here and it's in focus, if I go down it will be lower and it will be deeper, so it will be out of focus. So I'm trying to minimize that, so I will stay between here and roughly here. Let me do the framing. Here you can see the blue dot. See, it goes from there to there. Then it goes almost all the way around. And it goes back up to the edge of the glass once it's reached the end of the engraving. Here you can see, now it's on the edge of the glass and it will go back. So that's where the engraving will be. So next up I need to set the focus, so I will turn on these ones. You can see the two red dots over here. They need to align. So I can adjust the height of the machine. Let me put it higher, and you can see they will go to each other. And now they are on top of each other, so the machine is in focus. So the engraving is ready. As you can see, it looks really nice. I really like it, all these small Christmas ornaments on the glass. Of course, I could have aligned it a little bit better, so it's exactly 360 degrees all the way around, but I choose not to do this. This is just an example for this video. So if I would do it for somebody else, or maybe to sell it, I would have taken care of this, of course. I can already see that the engraving is really nice. You can also see that's a really fine dot size. This laser has got a dot size of 0.06 millimeters, and you can see the fine detail in the strings of each ornament. It's really small and you can still see it very well, so that's perfect. I will take it off, attach a new glass, do another engraving, and then when this is ready, I'm gonna wash off the paint and we can see the final results. So I've got the third design ready in LightBurn. This one is all chucked up and supported. Let me do the framing so you can see where it will engrave. So it's only a small portion. It will take about 35 minutes, so let's start. So the third and final one is also ready. I thought it was funny, so I engraved it on a glass. It looks really nice and crisp. So next up I will take this one off. I will put the camera next to the sink so I can wash everything off, clean the paint, and then we can see the final end result of the three glasses. I'm at my sink in the workshop. It's always good to have one in your workshop. I've got the 3 glasses over here. This is the first one we did, the Merry Christmas. The second one, the wine glass. You can see all these little ornaments. Turned out great. And the third one is this one, with the text on it. So I will start cleaning it off, and then I will show you once everything is rinsed off what it looks like. But I think it will be a very nice end result. Let me turn on the water. As I said, it's very easy to clean off the tempera paint. Just with water, and you can see it easily comes off. So that's the first one. I will take the second one. Take some warm water. Second one, a little bit left here I see. And then the third one, this one. Just rinse it off. You can see how easy it comes up. Okay, let me clean my hands a little bit with soap. Okay, and we're done. Take a towel, clean the glasses and dry them. A little bit. Okay, put this one inside. Like this. This one as well. And then the wine glass. I missed some spots I see on top. Now it's clean. Hopefully you can see it. You can see the engravings. They're really nice. When you take a black card, you can see it a little bit better. So these look very nice. This is the Merry Christmas. Again, if you put in a card, you can see it a little bit better. But as you can see, it's really etched there permanently. So you will not rub it off. And then the third one is this one. Again, put in something. You can see it's nicely engraved in the glass. And it's there to stay. So all in all, a very nice end result, I think. So that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it and it was useful to you. I really had a blast making these ones. Again, the final result, the text, you can really feel and hear it's permanently etched in there. You can just put it in the dishwasher, it doesn't matter. Unless you break the glass, it's there on there forever. The second one, the Christmas gnomes. Although I forgot to set the dimensions correctly and it squeezed a little bit, I think it's still really fun. Then the third one I like because all the ornaments, they start from the top and they're just hanging from the edge of the glass. But you can create whatever you want, of course. If you have friends and family over for Christmas, maybe personalize them, put them on the table with a name or maybe some text on there. Or you can create a set and sell it on Etsy or in your store. I think they will sell really well. So whatever you want you can do with your diode laser. If you follow my guides, yeah, then you know how to do it. Again, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please let me know. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!